Cardano is a blockchain eager to solve the massive problems holding back the adoption of Web3, but other blockchains are trying to do the same thing. So what makes Cardano different? This video will go over Cardano's roadmap and the problems it solves so that you can make the best investment. Blockchain technology has three major problems holding it back from mainstream adoption, apart from the SEC not approving a Bitcoin ETF. These problems are scalability, interoperability, and sustainability. Scalability means the blockchain must be able to handle lots of transactions while still being fast and cheap. If your business had lots of sales, you need to be able to keep up with the demand in order to keep consumer experience good. This is the problem with crypto. More and more people are using crypto but it's not keeping up with the demand. The second problem is interoperability. Every single blockchain is like the Apple ecosystem. Everything works well in the ecosystem, but take something else and put it in another ecosystem and it falls apart. The problem here is that blockchains can't work together. The third problem is sustainability. Developers need money to build the blockchain, so they get money from investors. But what happens after the money runs out? They can no longer develop the blockchain. Cardano aims to solve these three problems that have been holding back blockchain adoption. But how do we know Cardano won't overpromise and underdeliver? Cardano has a 5-stage roadmap on how it's going to solve these problems, and it's quite interesting. And please subscribe to solve my channel's problem of having no subscribers. Stage 1 is Byron. Launched in September of 2017, Cardano had to first make a way for the network to handle transactions, so they decided on the Ouroboros protocol. Instead of everyone mining for the next block like Bitcoin does, Cardano only selects a few people to validate each block, making the process a lot quicker and energy efficient. Cardano splits block time into epochs, and each epoch is split into slots. Cardano then selects one person to validate a block for each slot. These people are called slot leaders. Slot leaders will verify transactions and validate the block. This makes Cardano insanely scalable because if it needs to, it can add more slots per epoch and can run multiple epochs at once. And because Cardano is a proof of stake blockchain, it uses the same amount of electricity as a single house and not a small country like Bitcoin. During Byron, the Daedalus and Uri wallets were also made so people could buy and store Cardano's native token, ADA. Stage 2 is Shelly. In the Byron era, most of Cardano's nodes were run by the developers themselves. This made Cardano very centralized, which is the very opposite of what Web3 is. In this stage, more nodes got moved to being run by the community. This made Cardano decentralized. During Shelly also came stake pools. A stake pool is a group of coins from multiple people that is being staked to provide the network protection and the stakeholders money. This now gave people a reason to buy ADA. By staking it, they could earn some passive income. Cardano aimed to have 1,000 stake pools, and by September 2021, they had over 2,500. Stage 3 is Goguen, the arrival of smart contracts. Smart contracts are programs that can automatically carry out what is stated in the contract. Now that Cardano had smart contracts, developers can now develop decentralized applications or dApps on Cardano. To create a smart contract on Cardano, the coding language Plutus was made. But for those of us that aren't that technical and can't code, Marlow was a no-code solution to make financial smart contracts on Cardano. Together, Plutus and Marlow can be used to create enterprise-level smart contracts for large-scale use. This is already being done in countries like Georgia and Ethiopia. Along with smart contracts also came the ability to mint new tokens on Cardano. This now meant that new fungible tokens like ADA and non-fungible tokens or NFTs could now be made and run on Cardano. The Goguen stage made Cardano a lot like Ethereum. It's no surprise then that Cardano's founder Charles Hoskinson used to work on Ethereum before leaving to make Cardano. The fourth stage is Basho. Unlike the last few stages that added new features to Cardano, Basho is about optimizing those features and improving on Cardano's scalability and interoperability. The main development in Basho will be sidechains. These sidechains will work alongside the main chain, making Cardano interoperable. Sidechains will take some of the work off the main chain, making Cardano faster. Sidechains will also be used to test experimental features without making the main chain less secure, and some of these sidechains will be able to interact with other blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum. This will make Cardano the Wi-Fi of blockchains. It doesn't matter if you have an Apple or Android or even a BlackBerry device, they can all use the same Wi-Fi. That's what Cardano plans to become. Basho will make Cardano one of the most flexible and high-performing blockchains. Cardano will have Solana-like performance without Solana-like bugs and network outages. It will help Cardano scale in a sustainable way and to test new features without making the main chain less reliable. Cardano's last stage is Voltaire. This stage will put in the final pieces of Cardano becoming a self-sustainable blockchain. By introducing a decentralized governance system, Cardano's community will be able to have their say on what happens on the network. For Cardano to be truly decentralized, it must be able to maintain and improve on itself in a decentralized way. This means always having money for developers. Cardano plans to achieve this by adding a treasury. For every transaction made on Cardano, the treasury will take a small percent of the fee. This is how the treasury will fund itself. But this treasury is special. Unlike a traditional additional treasury. Cardano's treasury is a smart contract to ensure it's decentralized. Developers must send a proposal to the community saying what they want to build and how much it will cost. If the community votes in favor of the proposal, the smart contract will give the developer the amount of money they asked for. This will make Cardano self-sustainable, as developers will always have money to build and improve on Cardano. Once the voting and treasury systems are implemented, Cardano will have everything it needs to be truly decentralized and to run on its own. From there, Cardano will no longer be under the management of IOHK. The hands of Cardano and its future will be in its community. And that concludes with Cardano's very ambitious and well thought out roadmap. Cardano isn't just any random coin. It has a big dream to push blockchain adoption and a smart plan to achieve that dream. What started out as a small group of enthusiasts in 2015 is now a community of 500,000 people listed on 30 exchanges and is one of the world's biggest cryptos. From Byron all the way to Voltaire, Cardano has and will continue to change the crypto landscape forever. And if you want to know why Solana could be the next form of crypto payments, watch this video. It explains everything.